We cut the intro a little short today because I played the entire intro thinking that we were live, and we were not live. I didn't press the right buttons in the right order. Can you believe it? I did not press the right buttons in the correct order. That's a first around here, isn't it? I'm just kidding. That happens every time. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great New Year's Eve. Tell me what you're doing tonight in the chat. Do you have big plans? Are you staying in? I'm having people over. They should be shuffling on in here while this show is live. So I overextended myself by thinking, oh, I can have a party and do my show at the same time. So hopefully I put on a terrific show for you guys, and we're looking at it being between an hour and a half, and then we will get the party started. So tomorrow's Mr. Zed's birthday. So this is a birthday / New Year's Eve party. If you see him online, make sure to remind him that he is old. I would appreciate that. Anyway, good to see you. Just another nut bandit. Always good to see you. Patrick, I'm so glad you're here. Erica and Society Red, as always, good to have you. And Lisa, new viewer, Lisa is here. I met her on Christmas Eve at a party that I was invited to. Remember on Christmas Eve, I did that show about Jeremy, and I think I had mentioned on air that I was headed to a thing, and I went to the thing after I got off air, and I met Lisa. So good to see you, Miss Lisa. I hope we hang out again soon. So today we're talking about Nirvana, a little band. Have you heard of them? Nirvana? It's a little tiny band from the 90s. There's a song that Nirvana did on their first album called Polly. Turn down that background music a little bit. And when I looked into it, like I used to jam to these songs that I talk about. I used to jam to them, not even realizing what I was singing, like alone in my car, right? And when you look into it, it's pretty dark, especially this one. I think out of all the ones that I've covered so far, this is the darkest one. Now, if you've been a fan of mine for a long time, you will know that I have covered this before, but not on this channel, on another channel that I was associated with. If you want to see that one too, you can go to Hawkhound Media, and it is still up over on their channel. PJ and I did this story before. I'm doing these ones that I did for Hawkhound on my channel now because I've been very busy in the month of December, and I already had the research done for them. So that's why that happened. But yeah, they do good stuff. Conspiracy Pilled over there. Quirks of Creation is another show they have over there at Hawktown Media. Great shows. Go check them out for sure. Nice to see you made your victory. And Annie. Annie, good to see you too. I guess let's just jump into it. I should probably get my notes up. Probably a good idea. So, nobody's telling me what you're doing tonight in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you have big plans tonight, or if you are like me, going to put on your pajama pants and just hang around the house with some friends and family. So this story takes place on Friday, June 5th, 1987 in Tacoma, Washington. The temperature that day was a high of 57, a low of 48, and it was a clear, sunny day. I like to bring up the weather because, as you know, during the Jeremy episode, Eddie Vedder lied about so much, but even about what the weather was that day. A young lady was going to a rock concert, a punk rock concert. It was called the Slam and Jam at the Community World Theater in Tacoma. And the lineup for that day was Frightwig, Danger Mouse, Child Support, Diddley Squat, and Thrash Forward. Those were the names of the bands that she went to go see. People might be here. Doggos are letting me know. So there was a 14-year-old girl that saw the flyer for the show and decided she wanted to go to this show. Now, this girl that we're going to be talking about, her name wasn't really Polly. We don't know her name because she was underage and she was the victim. So we don't need to know her name, but we're going to call her Polly just because that's the name of the song, and I need to make up an alias for her anyway, so we're just going to call her Polly. That wasn't her name. Also, a lot of people, because it's from the same sort of area and around the same time, people think the song is about Polly Klaas, but it's not. This was actually written before the Polly Klaas thing happened, which is kind of a famous case that happened. So this young woman named Polly, age 14, she watched the entire show. She got out of there. The show ended around 12:15 in the morning on June 6th. And like many teens in this time period and on the West Coast, she was a runaway. And as you know, at this time of American history, like Seattle was the place to be for young people as far as the music scene and that sort of thing. I think Annie's and Lisa have the right idea about just staying home, playing board games. That's my plan tonight, for sure. I'm hydrating with water. I'm drinking coffee, and then as soon as we're off air, I might have a couple of adult beverages. I don't drink that often, but when I do, watch out. So Polly, she was young, she was alone, she was 14 years old. I couldn't imagine being on my own and just sort of a homeless, like not having anywhere to go at age 14. She was, from what I understand, like crashing on people's couches, that sort of thing. But she was a runaway, so she didn't have a steady home to go back to. She ended up in the Seattle area because that's where the music scene was. She wanted to be part of it. The same sort of thing like San Francisco in the 60s and 70s. Kids would flock there. In the 90s, it was Seattle. Handy's here. Hi, Handy. I might stop in and on your stream tonight. Handy's streaming the actual midnights of all the time zones tonight, which is, I mean, that is definitely ambitious. I would be asleep after the first one. So she decides to hitchhike back from Tacoma. The World Community Theater is here. It's a church now. I was looking into it this afternoon. And, whoa, where did I just drop myself? I think it's this building. It's not that building. Hold on, we'll get there. It's this building was where the World Community Theater was, and it is a church now. I'm not exactly even sure what kind of church it is because there's no website or anything. But that's the building we were at. And she decides to hitchhike back to Seattle. I've done so many episodes. It feels like I end up in this area a lot. When we did that Sky King thing, we were in this area. I end up on this map a lot. So Seattle's about 35, 40 minutes away, probably maybe even a less at that time because, there's not traffic in the middle of the night. The doggo's safe though. Hey, get in your spot. Or don't, whatever. So unfortunately, a 50-year-old stranger picked up Polly. His name was Gerald Friend, which is kind of ironic because he was definitely not a friend to anyone. But his last name was Friend, and he was 50 years old in 1987, and he picked up this 14-year-old little girl hitchhiking by herself from Tacoma to Seattle at the middle of the night at 12:15. Once Gerald Friend had Polly in his truck, he blindfolded her and he beat her in the face. He just like reached over and, hit her. Something's happening in my house. I'm not sure what it is, but the dogs are letting me know about it. Holy cannoli. All right, hang out for a second, guys. I gotta take care of something. Hold on. Like I said, I was ambitious, trying to have a party and do a show at the same time. Thank you for waiting for me, guys. I appreciate it. This is a live show. I say it every week. This is a live show. Stuff happens. Xena did stay. I was going to kick them both out, but I got Xena back in here because I know you guys are actually here to see her and not me. Xena, get in your spot. They want to see you, girl. Get in your spot. Go. There she is. So, okay. Let me reset the scene. We're in the truck. Gerald Friend, 50-year-old weirdo, picks up Polly. She's like a 14-year-old young girl, just got done at a rock concert. She might have even been doing some, smoking some pot or drinking or whatever. I mean, maybe not at 14. I wasn't doing those things, but I've seen it, I've seen young people like that doing that sort of stuff in the 90s, right? So this kindly old man picked her up because he was worried about her getting home. And instead, he beats her in the face, blindfolds her, takes her back to his trailer, where he held her captive for the next 24 hours. Once they were back in the trailer, he violently sexually assaulted her, the R word. I'm trying to clean up my language because my good friend Erica, who just donated $5, I appreciate it, said that I have to be careful about saying certain words. I'm going to try to do that. However, I do not want to diminish in any way what this person went through, because when I think of sexual assault, I think of getting like slapped on the ass at a bar. That's not what happened here. This was a violent attack, the R word. Not only like actual R word, but with foreign objects. um, in every orifice you can think of. He beat her. He tied her up to the ceiling with a pulley system he had installed. He burned her with a blowtorch. He cut her with knives. He whipped her with like an actual whip. Like, this was a horrific event that, like I said, I do not want to diminish in any way. So a full 24 hours she endured this abuse, right? Then he puts her into his truck, like blindfolds her again, puts her into the truck, and starts driving out to the middle of nowhere, just driving into the forest. And she knows in her head, crap, like this is going to be a problem, right? Because like, she saw him. She wasn't blindfolded the whole time. She decides, look, I got to get out of this because he's taking me to the forest to kill me, obviously. On his way out of town, he stopped at a gas station just south of Puyallup. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. If Handy's here, you can tell me. You're from that area. Am I saying that right? Puyallup? Anyway, either way, Polly took this opportunity where he stopped at the gas station to escape. I personally don't think that he was planning on kidnapping somebody that day. I think it was Puyallup. So the first time I actually said it right, I'm kind of proud of myself. Not gonna lie. Puyallup. Puyallup. I probably should have went over this with my friend Handy before I went live, but I didn't do that. She realizes she's got to get out of there. Like I said, I don't think he was going to. He wasn't out there hunting, I don't think. I think it was a crime of opportunity, right? I think that he just happened to be driving around at 12:30 in the middle of the night and sees a 14-year-old hitchhiking and is like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to do this now. So he didn't have a full tank of gas. So he stopped at the gas station. Polly decided, look, I've got to get out of here. And like, I've got to run. And she did. She escaped from the truck and she started running. She flagged down like a vehicle that was passing by, got into somebody's car and was rescued. Because, Friend did not blindfold her the entire time while he was in the trailer, probably because he was going to kill her. So after he got her to the house, he didn't blindfold her anymore until they were leaving again. But she was able to direct the police to Gerald Friend's house. What a hero this young girl is at 14 years old. Think of how many people's lives that she saved. Just by being able to escape, right? She was able to direct the police to his home. But once Polly got away from him, he did not go home. He decided, like, I can't go back there because she knows where I live, right? The police go to his house, though, and they search the place, and they find her clothing, her jewelry, that pulley system, the blowtorch, the whip, all of that stuff that she described was there. So they know, like, this is the right house. This is the right guy. We've got to find this MFer immediately if he's doing this to 14-year-olds. The police issued a warrant and did like an APB to all the surrounding counties. And Gerald Friend was pulled over in Yakima, Washington. He was fleeing arrest at the time. He was like fleeing the area. He was arrested. Gerald Friend's arrest made the local papers, where a young musician named Kurt Cobain saw the news article. Kurt's band at the time was called Skid Row. They weren't Nirvana yet. But they were scheduled to play at the Community World Theater the following weekend. So what a interesting, like she was at the Community World Theater and he was scheduled to play the next weekend with other bands, Killdozer and Beat Happening, and then Skid Row, which was Nirvana at the time. The song was Polly was originally titled Hitchhiker. Later they changed it to Cracker, which is a great name for a song. And then they changed it to Polly before the release of the album. I'm going to play you some of the song while I get some dog biscuits ready because I see very generous people in the chat. Erica and Lisa, we will get dog biscuits. You will be entered into the drawing, which will take place this time next Sunday, which I think I'm going to do a Crime Land episode next Sunday. I'm not sure yet. We'll play it by ear. But I want you to listen to the lyrics of the song after that story I just told you. Get in your spot.
No music.
Oh no. Mr. Zed just came in and let me know the music wasn't playing. So I thought I could have the lyrics up and the music playing at the same time. Apparently not. So we'll listen to the lyrics and then I guess I did that whole presentation for no reason. Still nothing? All right, still nothing, he's telling me. What is happening? All right, all right, all right. Hold on. I can fix it. I can fix it, guys. I can fix it.
Let me take a ride. Cut yourself.
Can you hear music now?
Want some man, please myself. All he wants Maybe she would like some food. She asked me to untie her. A chase would be nice for a few. Yes, me, have a seat. Let me clap dirty wings. Let me take a ride. Cut yourself. Want some nap? Please myself. Got some rope. Have been told. Promise you. Have been true. Let me take a ride. Cut yourself. Want some nap? Please myself. Polly said. Polly says her back hurts. She's just as bored as me. She caught me off my guard. Amazes me the will of instinct. Yes, me, have a seat. Let me clap dirty wings. Let me take a ride. Cut yourself. Want some nap? Please myself. Got some rope. Have been told. Promise you. Have been true. Let me take a ride. Cut yourself. Want some nap? Please myself.
So that's the song. Hopefully you saw the lyrics. Sorry it took me so long to get it going. But at least you have an idea of what I'm talking about now, right? Right. I'm sure most of you, have you heard this song before? I noticed when I look at the analytics, my audience skews younger than me, which is amazing. Welcome, kids. I'm glad you're into the same sort of stuff I am. But I assume most people have heard this song before. So the earliest known version of this song is a home demo featuring Cobain on vocals and guitar. The version was released after Kurt Cobain died in the Nirvana Rarities box set with the Lights Out was the name of the box set in November of 2004. So the first one was recorded before it was released, obviously. On October 26, 1989, the band recorded a version during their first BBC Peel session at the Medea Vale Studios in London, England. The four-song session was engineered by Ted DeBono and was originally broadcast on November 22nd, 1989. And Kurt Cobain wrote the song from the rapist's perspective. He sings about the grotesque and violent events in a quiet, calm, extremely creepy tone. In an interview when Cobain was asked about the song and the lyrics, he explained that his inspiration for it was from the account of a brutal rape that he read about in a newspaper, which I believe was this one. Kurt Cobain was trying to bring awareness to violence women experience at the hands of men. When people were offended, Kurt Cobain said, "I like to write about other people and events. My own life is boring." So Gerald Friend was a predator with a very long history of violence against young girls. Oh, another thing that I didn't put it in my notes, but I in the research, when Kurt Cobain recorded this song, he used, even though they were doing a studio album at the time, he had an old guitar that he had gotten at a pawn shop for $30, and he recorded it on that guitar because there's not percussion. There's just him, the bassist. There's a little, I guess there's a little bit of percussion, but it's not like it's a very intimate song. He wanted to be very intimate. And he said using his $30 pawn shop guitar and just him and his voice made a sort of closeness between him and the audience. And he wanted people to feel that connection. And then when you realize he's the rapist, like, it just kind of goosebumpy. You know what I mean? He said the guitar that he used to have to, it would go out of tune so fast that he would use duct tape on the tuning thingamajigs to keep it in tune. So like I was saying, Gerald Friend was a long history of violence against young girls. Friend was originally jailed for abducting a 12-year-old girl from Sumner, Washington in July of 1960 when he was 22 years old. So siblings, Candace Compton and her brother, who was 13. So the girl was 13, the girl was 12, the boy was 13, had spent the day. So this is Candace and Robert Compton. They spent the day swimming at Bonnie Lake, and they were hitchhiking home when Friend picked up the siblings, but forced Robert out of the car at gunpoint as soon as he kidnapped them. He drove Candace to Mount Rainier National Park, where he beat her, he R-worded her, he cut her hair off. The 12-year-old eventually escaped by running away and jumping into the Carbon River. She swam to the other side of the river. Candace made it to the road on the other side of the river and flagged down a motorist. Really similar to what happened to Polly, right? She got away. Which the lyric in the song about a chase would be nice. A chase would be nice for a few. Like, this has happened to him twice where he's had to chase young girls in the woods. So creepy. Candace was able to describe her abductor's car in detail, and police found the car nearby, and it was traced back to Gerald Arthur Friend. Friend was not in his car at the time, but a warrant was issued for his arrest. Police went to Friend's father's farm, but he was not there at the time. The authorities told his father there was a warrant out for the son. All right, we're going to take a quick break when we get back to when he was arrested the first time. But first, Zena needs some treats. We have some very generous people in the chat. Thank you to Erica, and to Lisa, and to Major Victory. I have 3 treats for Zena. If you would like to contribute to the show, you can do so by doing a super chat like these nice people did. You can do the buy me a coffee. I'll put the little QR code up there in the corner. And you can do a Rumble rant. All of my friends over there on Rumble. Ivan over on Rumble. Good to see you. I have Rumbles over here. You guys are here. Rumble's over here. I'm really hoping Rumble and Restream connect soon so we could just have everybody over here. Hey, Zena. I got some news for you, girl. There were some very nice people in the chat today, and they donated money to give you dog biscuits. I have them right here. Do you want them? Okay. You gotta sit up. Oh. Do you shake? Thank you. That one's from Erica. It's good? Okay. Do a touch? Thank you. That one's from Lisa. It's good stuff? That's good stuff. Do one more shake. Now, other hand. There you go. That's for Major Victory. Thank you. Zena thanks you. Unfortunately, we had to get rid of Ava because she was being a terrorist again. Quick story about Ava this morning, right? And then we'll get back to the story. So this morning, the mail guy comes, right? We have an elderly mailman. His name's Doug. Good guy. He's been our mailman for years. And we had some packages being delivered because, like I was saying, it's Mr. Zed's birthday. So he had some packages coming. And the mailman comes up to our front porch, puts the packages down, goes to go back. He had parked, and we have a long driveway. So he doesn't usually pull in the driveway because our mailbox is out by the road. But he pulled in the driveway to bring the packages up to the porch. And Ava, the terrorist, sprints out the backyard to the fence. According to Doug, it looked like she was going to come over the fence. So he starts to kind of jog back to his truck and tripped and fell in our yard and hurt his shoulder. Ava tried to kill the mailman, is all I get from that. Tried to kill the mailman. So we heard, the Ring doorbell or whatever notifies us for movement. So Dave goes out to get the packages and sees our mail guy just laying in our front yard, sprawled out. We went out there. I gave him a bottle of water, made sure he got up okay. But yeah, when I tell you Ava's terrorist, I'm not making it up. You can also contribute to the show by going to katiez.com. If you would like to have some merchandise, you can definitely do that there. It is katiez.com. If you want to use the discount code IGGY5, that's IGGY5, you get 5% off of anything in the store. We have t-shirts, we have coffee mugs. The reason it's IGGY5 is because Stephen Ignoramus's merchandise is on there too. So you can get the Stephen Ignoramus merchandise also at katiez.com. But I know what you really want. It's the Overruled merchandise. These sweatshirts, these crew neck sweatshirts are very comfortable. I wear mine all the time. I have an Overruled one and a Crimeland one. We have the coffee mugs for Overruled and Crimeland. There's hats, there's wine glasses. There's also the little zippy cases if you need a new makeup case, or you don't even have to put anything in there. They're nice. Anyway, that's the ad. Nobody sponsors me. I sponsor myself. Go buy the stuff. It's good stuff, I promise. I would not steer you wrong. Okay. So Gerald Friend, right? Let's get back to this guy. He's on the run from the cops now. He had just kidnapped the two kids, Candace and Robert. He kicks Robert out of the car because what he really wants is the young girl. Yeah. And the Candace gets away, swims across a river, which is difficult even if you're a very good swimmer because of the current in a river. I've fallen out of a boat in a river before. It's not fun. Whitewater rafting. Not fun. She gets away. He's on the run now. He ditches his car, and the cops go to his dad's house because they know who the car belongs to, right? What are you doing? Okay, come on. You can say hi. Come on. Zena wants to say hi. She says thank you very much for the super chats. She very much appreciates it. All right, hop down. Hop. Get in your spot. Thank you. Go. In your spot. So the authorities, the cops tell the dad, hey, there's a warrant out for your son. Here's what he did. Spot. 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 Thank you. 3 days later, Gerald's dad sees his son on the property in the tree line. So across the field in the tree line, he spots his son. And he's like, dude, Jerry, what are you doing? The cops are looking for you. You got to come here and turn yourself in. You can't be on the run from the cops and be hanging out on my property. Gerald's dad approaches him and starts pulling him towards the house. Now, Gerald was injured. And he starts pulling him towards the house. Gerald pulls out a gun, and the two wrestle for the gun. The gun goes off, and it shoots Gerald in the leg. So now he's injured in the woods at his dad's house. So Arthur, dad, calls an ambulance for his son, because how are you not going to call an ambulance for your kid, whether or not he's wanted by the police or not. He just shot himself in the leg by accident. So he calls, he calls the ambulance. Of course, the police are notified as well if there's a gun that goes off. So the cops are going to go either way, whether he was wanted or not. Once the police and the ambulance arrive, Gerald hobbles out of the woods using a tree branch as a makeshift crutch and bleeding very badly. In my opinion, I think it might have been better if he just bled out in the forest right there. But that's not up to me. That's up to God. And that's not what happened. The police arrest him, take him to the hospital, treat him for the gunshot wound, make sure he's okay. I just realized I'm putting these articles up here. I'm not even sharing my screen. Not even sharing the screen. Gerald Friend was found guilty of first-degree kidnapping and rape of a minor. Dang it, I was trying not to say the R word because somebody told me I should not be saying that on YouTube. But you know what? It was that. That's what happened. I did good for the first, I don't know, how long have we been on? 45 minutes. Anyway, he was sentenced to 75 years in Walla Walla prison. Oh, apparently I put a picture of Walla Walla prison in my notes. So that's Walla Walla. Well, at Walla Walla, Gerald Friend escaped twice. The second time. Does this not remind you of, what's his face? Oh my gosh. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy escaped from prison a couple of times too, didn't he? It reminds me of Ted Bundy, this escaping from prison after violently raping and killing people. The second time was in 1978. So this is from the kidnap and sexual assault of Candace Compton. No time was added to his sentence for the prison escape attempts because I don't know why, but the parole board still decided to release him after serving only 20 years of his 75-year sentence, which is why he was out of prison when Polly was hitchhiking home from that concert. Why are we letting violent people out of prison? I'm not sure. So he was set free in 1980. He attacked Polly 7 years later. Friend was ordered to complete his sentence for the 1960 sexual assault and kidnapping. I should say violent sexual assault and kidnapping. And he was also given an additional 75 years for the Polly thing. He's now serving his time at Airway Heights Correctional Center, which looks like this. In September 1988, 6 months after Gerald Friend started serving his sentence, Polly sued. Here it is. Polly sued the state of Washington for releasing the dude that ended up attacking her. Good for her. You know what I'm saying? Good for her. He should have never been out of prison. You know what I'm saying? He should have never been out. The Department of Correction, she sued the Department of Correction for wanton disregard for public safety for releasing this monster back onto the streets of Washington. The lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed account. Now, if you want to call in, I'm going to put the thing in the thing right now. And while you guys are calling in, I'm going to play a little bit. I found a interview that I'm just going to play a portion of it. It's a 22-minute long phone interview. If you want to call in and talk about this case, do that now. If you want to call in and just say Merry New Year, Happy New Year to, holy cow, to Xena. Before we listen to this interview, though, let me do the pop out. Waffle Salter over there on Rumble. Very generous, sir. Says, Happy New Year to you and yours, Katie Z. 07 to you, sir. Xena gets treats. Waffle Salter gets entered into the drawing. Very generous donation from Waffle Salter over there on Rumble. Thank you. I appreciate it. 2 treats for that. 2 treats for that. Anything double digits, Xena gets at least 2 treats. Did you see that tail wag? I said her name. She knows it. Hey, Xena. Do you want a treat? Do you want 2 treats? She wants 2 treats. Thank you, Waffle Salter. I appreciate it. Can you do a high five? That's awesome. Can you do a shake? That's awesome. Oh, she got my finger. She really likes these new milk phones I got her. Oh, and Lisa ordered a t-shirt, which means another milk phone, another one for Xena, because we got a t-shirt order. Awesome. Thank you. Do a touch. Perfect. Do a shake. Do a high five. All right. She appreciates that. I appreciate that. You have to let me know what cases you want to see in the future. Waffle Salter, you're the man. I appreciate you very much. If you guys remember, Waffle Salter was one of our winners month before last, in our drawing, and he will be entered again into the drawing. Yo Mama's asking where Ava is. Ava's being a terrorist today. She was barking and causing a ruckus, so she had to go. She also tried to kill the mailman this morning, so, you know. Oh, and Waffle Salter just became a monthly supporter over there on Rumble. I didn't even know I had that. You're my first member over on Rumble. I didn't know that was a thing that I could do. I appreciate that. Let's fatten this dog up, right? Let's fatten her up. Watch this. She can catch. Let's see if she'll do it. Ready? Totally missed. When she's on the spot, on air, she missed. It just hit her in the face. I promise she can catch. And a donation from Smith on Rumble for a bone for Ava. We will give Ava a bone. The bane of the mailman. All right, let's see if Xena will catch this time. Ready? She missed twice. She missed twice. All right, try it again. She's making me look like a liar. I promise she catches these all the time. I promise she does. Let me put this Rumble chat over here. I appreciate you guys over there on Rumble too. A bunch of people over on Rumble today. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you want to call in, do that now. And we're gonna listen to a little bit of this interview. If you want to talk about this case or any case, if you want to, talk about anything, it's New Year's, and I have about 30 minutes before I have people coming over, so I have time.
Me too. I said to myself, I said, well, hell with you. I don't want to talk to you. Because it's just going to bring up more members.
You're convicted right now. Your second sentence. You're convicted of abducting a 14-year-old girl at gunpoint. Can you walk us through all the events that led up to that case? I know there was, they claim that there was torture involved in this particular.
I was listening to this earlier at 1.5 speed, which is how I consume all of my YouTube content, by the way. So sorry that started off really fast.
Case. Can you talk about that case?
I will a little bit, but I really hate to, because it really bothers me every time I start talking about it. I know it's a vicious crime, and I'm guilty of it, and I'm serving my time on. Please, I don't want to discuss it.
Once you're stopped by the police the next day for a traffic violation, deputies recognize you from composite sketches and you're arrested for the kidnapping. How'd you feel when you were in handcuffs again, knowing that you probably weren't going to get out anytime soon?
Well, I was handcuffed in Yakima, Washington. That was something like 160 miles from where I lived. Been in handcuffs all my life, so it bothered me, yeah. But, there's nothing I could do about it.
Did you know you were going back to prison for a long time, or did you think you were going to beat it?
No, I knew I was going back to the jail, but my gun was in the saddlebags of the motorcycle.
Do you wish that you had your gun at the time?
No, because it was in. Because I don't want to hurt people. It's just.
He doesn't want to hurt people, he says. He doesn't want to hurt people. Is he serious right now?
Something that happened, and I got this evil person in the back of my mind that controls my life.
So you're ultimately arrested, charged, and convicted of the kidnapping and rape, the new charges. You're ordered to serve the remainder of your previous prison sentence, along with an additional 75 years for the additional kidnapping and rape. What was it like when you were handed down that second 75-year sentence? What was going through your head?
Well, I knew I was going back to prison, but what else can I do? If a crime happened and I knew I was guilty of it, and that's it. I didn't protest my, or violently strike out. I just.
Ivan over on Rumble says that he should have been put down, which is exactly what I was saying. Like, I wish he would have bled out in those, in the woods by his dad's house. Like, I wish, he had shot himself in the leg. If the ambulance had been just a little bit longer, we wouldn't even have this, he wouldn't even be able to speak at all. He seems so unremorseful in this, this interview. Like I said, it's a 22-minute long interview. We're just listening to the very end of it, but he seems so unremorseful. It's not like, I've spoken before about Jeffrey Dahmer. He was obviously horrific crimes, horrific man, but I really think that he was sorry for what Jeffrey Dahmer I'm talking about, was remorseful and asked for forgiveness. And I believe in my heart, and it's not up to me, obviously, it's not up to me to offer forgiveness or whatever, but I think that Jeffrey Dahmer was actually remorseful for what he did and actually was repentant and turned to God before he was murdered in prison. This guy does not give a crap. This guy right here, no remorse at all. None.
When I said they went ahead and accepted where I had to go.
At one point in time, you were a suspect in the Green River killer case, right?
Yes, I was.
Did they question you or interrogate you back then?
No. The only thing they did, they took all my evidence from my car and everything else and took it to the Green River Task Force.
Did anything else happen after that, or did they just leave you alone?
No, because I didn't even know about this, except that my wife found out about when she went down to get the car.
It was a shock to you that you were a suspect in America's most infamous unsolved serial homicides?
Yes, because right after that, then they arrested the Green River Killer. But see, I told my wife to go down and get the car so she would have it. And when she went down to find out about it, they said it was at the Green River Task Force. And that's all I know about it.
Ironically, you're locked up in the state of Washington where the Green River Killer is locked up. Have you ever had any interactions with him?
Oh yeah, I met him over in the hole, and I didn't really get a chance to meet him, but I said hi to him as I walked by him.
You didn't tell him that you were a suspect for his crimes at one point?
No, because we was not allowed to talk. Because see, he was down there on death row, and I was happened to be in the segregation unit, and we just passed by each other, and you're not allowed to talk to each other. So I didn't really get a chance to say hi to him or nothing.
You'll be 83 years old at the end of this month. How do you spend your days in prison?
Well, right now they got this virus going on, and we're locked down 24 hours a day. Normally I'm working in the sewage department, the kitchen, and making a little bit of money and trying to, do what I can.
On a day-to-day basis,
Cena,
what do you do on a day-to-day
what?
basis to stay busy and to keep sane and to continue pushing on?
What?
Well, I was working from 10:20 in the morning until almost 9 o'clock at night.
What were you doing for work?
I was working in the main kitchen, serving food.
I can't believe this guy has the gall to complain about being on lockdown for COVID. He really shouldn't be complaining about anything. He's still alive.
Cleaning tables, doing kitchen work.
Do you like that job?
Well, that's the only job I can have.
At almost 83 years old, do you think you'll ever be released for the crimes you've committed?
No.
No, because I will never see the board until something like 10 years from now. So my case is never reviewed.
Before we conclude this interview, is there anything you would like to say after all of these years?
Yes, I don't believe in this legal system here in Washington. Because what happened to me, I should have had more rights in my hearing. I should have had more say so, but I didn't. I didn't have no say so, no nothing. I went to court and they told me to shut my mouth and they sentenced me to life, and that was it.
This is the same guy who violently attacked a 12-year-old girl who escaped from him, violently assaulted her and beat her, and got out after 20 years of a 75. That's not even half. And he's complaining about not having rights in the state of Washington. Ooh, this guy.
They should have asked me what I felt. They shouldn't have let my mom in the courtroom, but they wouldn't even let my mom in the courtroom. So how am I going to protest something when they won't allow me to speak?
That was my interview with Gerald Friend. Thank you for tuning in.
I will put this whole interview in the description. I should have done it beforehand. I did not. But it's like I said, it's a 22-minute interview. We listened to maybe 6 minutes of it. But that's Gerald Friend. That's the story of Polly. And I'm so glad that the young woman who we know as Polly did sue the state of Washington because they let him out early and she was attacked because of it. We need to keep these monsters in prison forever, and none of this parole after 20 years and no time added for escaping twice. Insane. I love the Rumble chat over here. You guys are brutal. These guys over here on Rumble are brutal. Wood chipper I saw in here somewhere. Also deserves to be sexually assaulted and tortured and beaten daily. Yes, absolutely. I agree with the Rumble chat tonight. I agree with the Rumble chat. Excuse me. I got a little worked up there. That's the show, guys. I hope you have a great New Year's. All of you who said that you were spending the night at home and and cozying up with your loved ones playing board games. You're my kind of people. That's what I like to do. That's what I like to do for sure. And speaking of that, we have a game night coming up in January for members. We have a bunch of members now, so it'll be a busy night. I upgraded my Teams subscription or whatever to handle more people, so we can have a lot of different people playing our stupid criminal game on game night. I should look at the calendar. I did not update my. Remember last time I said I didn't update. I still haven't updated my board. I believe that game night is going to be on the 9th of December. So second Saturday in December. It will be after Hezekiah's show, probably starting around 8 o'clock. If you can't be here right on time, that's fine. Jump in anytime. So the 9th, we'll probably do a Friday Night Crime on the 8th. So we'll do the 8th, 9th, and 10th will be our busy weekend. I try to do one. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong month. I'm such a dodo. Second weekend in January is the 13th. Second weekend is the 13th. But Erica's busy on the Erica. I think the 13th is going to be because I'm busy the other weekend. So I believe it's going to be the 12th, 13th, and 14th is going to be our busy weekend in January. Coming up next week, I'm going to do an episode of Crime Land. Unless I find the time this week to research something, I usually start way ahead of time. So we'll see about that. But definitely be here next Sunday at 4:30. We will go over some more crimes. It will be a good time, I promise. It's always fun hanging out with all of you. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you all have a very happy New Year. Stay safe. If you are going out, make sure you have a designated driver. There is a thing called Uber now, Lyft. Use that for sure. Do not, even if you've had one drink, don't drive drunk. We've watched so many of those drunk driving body cam videos. You don't want to be that person, do you? We definitely don't want you to be. I don't want to have to cover you on the show. So get a designated driver. Be safe. Remember, all the other idiots are out there driving as well. So steer clear of them. Tonight especially, all the amateurs are out. My dad used to say you can't go out on New Year's because all the amateurs are out, meaning everybody who doesn't normally drive drunk is driving drunk tonight. Be safe, guys. I love you all. Have a great New Year's. We will see you next week. Bye.
I can't understand what you're saying. We're late stage in the catacombs. Shuffling a single card today. Broken table trying to play some ping pong. It's not subtle when we celebrate a magazine with the pages torn. My body cracks, knees buckling. I got a bad case of brain fog. Said I got a bad case of brain fog. So I'ma take my butt home. So I'ma take my butt home.